Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between PAX AJAX as our US, and whose opponent today is going to be Callsign Clowndog Zulu. So both these players stream on Twitch. Clowndog Zulu is Cobra Zulu TV on Twitch, and PAX AJAX is just PAX AJAX. I do believe that these players are both moderators in the other's channel, so they know each other pretty well. And with that in mind, we might see some crazy meme strategies come out, or they might just play normally, I don't know. And as I say that, PAX Ajax going for Advanced Infantry Battle Group and opening with a heavy machine gun, so already a bit of an unusual build for him. And adding on a third scout now, so this is going to be a different take. Going for this many scouts, we might see him do the artillery observers. Go up to 4 models in each squad. This is going to give him quite a bit of capturing power in this early game. But of course, the drawback is obviously the fact that you don't have a lot of combat effectiveness into the mid-game. Easy to lose those squads, right? So, map today is going to be Simwa. This map's been around a long time. Was in download squad. I don't get it. God, I lost my train of thought with that that text there. Oh yeah, so maps today is going to be Simwa. This map is got a heavy little town here in the middle, of course. Right side is a bit cluttered with rivers and trees and buildings. And the left side is pretty wide open. And what tends to happen is players end up reaching the late game with a similar amount of resources because of how spread out the resources are. It's not like one player can control all the fuel very easily. And you have a lot of guaranteed fuel next to your base. So, like I said, players tend to make it to the end game with a similar level of tech. And it results in these fights with some really high-tech units focusing on victory points. So we'll see if we make it that far, but that is what my expectation is. Long-range fight here between some scouts and 2 grenadiers. This fight is not going to go well for the scouts long-term. Looks like he's just trying to slow down his opponent, but is going to have to give up the space pretty quickly. Clowndog Zulu has locked in his battle group, going for the breakthrough battle group, picking up the assault grenadier packages. Might see him adding it on. We are indeed. Gonna lose that scout on the way out. Is our US player, no big deal. Is going for 2 engineers here. And throwing down, looks like a lot of barbed wire here. Love to see that, denying that cover to his opponent. Scouts continuing to try to slow down this advance from this German here. But I do think we're going to see our German go deep into his opponent's territory. Good decision to give up that spot there. This squad was sprinting at his face with submachine guns, and that's not going to go well. US player taking advantage of his opponent not being in the center to try and pick up some more space here. Is going to get a heavy machine gun into this building here. Engineers picking up this fuel point. Pioneers poking around, trying to do something about it, but not going to happen. Might actually go for this cutoff point here, which would be pretty good for him. Is swinging in that direction. Infantry support center on the way, so we're going to see a captain very soon. Engineers picking a fight on this top side. Pioneers trying to take that victory point, but I don't think those engineers are going to let that happen. Grenadiers on the scene, though. And US player continuing to replace his lost scouts here. I think that's his 5th one of the game. Might just be the 4th one of the game. And German player is going to go for this cutoff point. Engineer's been upgraded with flamethrowers, which are pretty decent on this map with all the buildings. Grenadiers continuing to duke it out with those engineers up top. Pioneer's going to finish this capture from the looks of things and then bail out. US player has picked up the artillery observers, so getting that plus 10 health on all the models and getting an extra model. So making this squad a little bit tankier. Still not nearly as tanky as something like a Rifleman squad. This Pioneer squad might go down. Wow. The heavy machine gun picked it up without firing its main gun. So that's crazy. Grenadiers coming down. Should say coming up. And are going to walk into the side arc here, so may have a chance. Grenadiers coming down from the top side. Looks like he wants to hit him from both sides at the same time here. Doesn't have vision here, so doesn't know which way the heavy machine gun is facing. Engineers continuing to wire off heavy cover there. Oh, and here comes a scout car from our German player, so that's a nice little add-on here. Gonna make... Going to be pretty decent here, given the lack of anti-tank capabilities from his opponent. Heavy machine gun going to get pushed all the way back there. Engineers trying to cook this scout car, but that's not going to do much. And our German player has gone up to 4 grenadiers here, which I like to see. US player adding on a half-track now, so I expect we're going to see the 75mm coming out from him in short order. US player capturing some territory on this bottom side, and actually looks like he wants to go for some territory on the top side as well. That's an advantage of a build like this, right? You have a ton of units on the field, and while their combat effectiveness might not be the best in the business, it is good enough to fight over territory, and he's going to secure his opponent's rich fuel point on that top side there. Scouts, of course, have a capturing bonus. And I know I keep calling them scouts. They are, in fact, the artillery observer squad, but other than the increased health, their stats don't change much, so did manage to decapture that point. Is going to have to run the gauntlet here. It's a pretty bad retreat path, but grenadiers on the move are relatively inaccurate. Grenade in the retreat path going to get him. Nice pickup there. Is he going to finish the squad? Barely going to make it? Question mark. Oh, yeah, standing still at the absolute last second there. Are those grenadiers going to let him pick up that squad? So nicely done there, maximizing the effectiveness of those units. Make sure that squad didn't finish its retreat. Grenadiers here in the middle. Doesn't look like that barbed wire finished, or maybe got cut up or destroyed by explosives. Grenadiers going to make it in the building as the heavy machine gun hits the field there. Ranger squads available to our US player, but of course doesn't have any riflemen to upgrade them. 75mm blasting the church there, going to force those grenadiers back. Grenadiers continuing to take back the territory he lost on this top sides. Artillery observers got to bail out. Should make it out okay. Captain on the field. Trying to defend there. And I love this scout car, just being annoying, being everywhere. Already veteran C1, has 5 kills to its name. 75mm moving up to the center road here. Try and have an angle on whatever his opponent is doing. Captain gonna bail out there. And engineers getting obliterated by these Jaegers plus scout car combo. 75mm on the scene. Doesn't have a good angle, though. He's going a little bit too far forward. Engineers got to bail out. Jaeger's not going to get him on the retreat. Heavy machine gun going to capture that center point. Both players very even on victory points, all things considered. Smoke grenade coming out, expecting the heavy machine gun to be ready for him. Barrage going to hit this building, force that grenadier out. And Rangers on the way for our US player. 450 manpower, that is a lot of manpower. Heavy machine gun, gonna put these Jaegers back. Grenadiers finding another scout squad here. Does look like you might get him now. Now, the further away this unit gets, the more safer it's gonna be. But as soon as these guys hold position, I expect some good shots here. And not quite going to happen. Artillery observers here. So what's interesting about this map is I do think that artillery observers in combination with the radio beacon could be pretty good. Now the radio beacon is not that great at a high level, right? Because it's pretty easy for high-level players to find them. That said, I mean, the automatic indirect fire, saving yourself on APM can be huge, especially if you've got it like behind a building, behind a heavy machine gun. You know, if you can keep that thing safe, it can be really tough for your opponent to deal with, especially when you've got, you've got anti-tank, you've got anti-infantry, and the heavy machine gun. So adding on something like that could be really good. Sniper on the field for our German here. That's unusual. Is going to help him against that heavy machine gun. 75mm trying to get a lucky shot on the sniper. Not going to happen. Captain in a weird spot here. 75mm trying to attack ground through the brush there, but not going to connect. 75mm is going to go down. 75mm unable to connect through the brush there. Going to get another shot on the sniper. Again, missing here. Closing. There's a mine there, though. 75mm is stuck here from the looks of things. Pioneer's going to chase. Get real close with this 75mm. Scout car also going to chase. I do think he's going to get it here. 75mm getting a good hit on the scout car, though. Scout car trying to get in behind. 75mm trying to give the front armor here. And glancing blow there on the on the scout car there. PAX AJAX a little frustrated. That's funny. Scammed. He did get scammed there. That glancing blow from the 75mm satchel charge going out from the Pioneers, not going to destroy the scout car. Second sniper on the way from our German here. So we're getting into meme territory, and I can't wait. I mean, we've already seen a weird build from our US player, and our German player is following up with a bizarre build in the mid-game here. And this is what I love. I mean, so I was about to say what I love. This is what I love about games between players that know each other, especially when they're high level. They can just do something weird. And then I had the thought, well, the community is rather small. And most of the games I cast, the players that you are seeing play against each other know each other, right? They have seen each other on the ladder before, because that's how small the 1v1 community is. And I think that's both cool and, I'd love to see more players, is all I'm really wanting to say. But at the same time, I think it's cool that everybody knows each other. They know each other's plays, and can lead to some really interesting metagaming. This heavy machine gun might go down to the sniper here. US player not seeing it. And one more shot is going to miss. US player focusing the sniper, not going to let him finish that kill there. Fight breaking out on this right side. 75mm duking it out with a scout car. Sniper coming to help out with these artillery observers. Getting some good hits there from the scouts on those Pioneers, but is going to have to back up. Engineers holding down this church. US sniper on the field now to try and deal with those two snipers. So we are going to see a sniper battle here. So sniper battles were extremely common in Company of Heroes 2. But I think snipers start out weaker than they used to in this game. Their fire rate is slower. I mean, maybe it might not actually be slower, but in this game it feels slower to me. So I think that's why we don't see snipers as often. But as they start to vet up, they get really, really scary with that 25% rate of fire at Veterancy 2. And they also get that camo duration, allowing them to move around the map unseen a little bit more effectively. Now this US sniper on the field is on hold fire mode here. So he is going to try and save it to pick off a sniper from his opponent. US player has added on the artillery radio beacon. Not quite, just barely in range of this unit here. Barrage from our 75mm potential. Actually getting a kill with the 75mm. That's so freaking unusual. Heavy machine gun gonna have to bail out there. Sniper taking its first shot against Grenadiers there. So German player does know about the U.S. sniper now. U.S. flare revealing any camoed units here, so German snipers are going to get shot at here, backing up just a little bit. Going to keep them safe. And U.S. player seemingly in full retreat here. And here comes the first barrage from this artillery observer here. Now this building isn't really hidden behind this house at all. Unfortunately for our U.S. player there. Scout car on the scene, 75mm on the scene as well. Missing again, unfortunately for him. An artillery observer is going to bail out, getting one connection on the scout car. And that's a dead artillery radio beacon. Now these things only cost 50 manpower, so nothing devastating there. This map is looking a bit red here. Stoss trooping on the field. Howitzer upgraded for our U.S. player. Could see him add that on. This map in particular I think is pretty good for indirect fire. Sniper helping push back these Grenadiers on the right side. Pioneers here as well. So I'm really hoping we see an artillery emplacement, but they are not cheap. And they would definitely slow down something like tanks. U.S. player throwing down all sorts of mines up here. Not going to let his opponent take this territory for free. Could really help against something like a scout car if it decides to dive. Grenadiers chilling in this hedgerow are going to move in on these artillery observers, using that sprint ability to close the gap here, and going to totally wreck with those MP40s. German player is going to bail out, though, or U.S. player is going to bail out with that squad. And engineers getting into cover and cooking these Grenadiers. 75mm ready for the scout car to come in. Heavy machine gun a little bit too far forward. Rangers available, though. Nice mine, picking up a bunch of units off that Jaeger squad. Sniper taking a third member. Phosphorus grenade coming out, blocking that line of sight. And a bunch of Grenadiers here ready for the fight. Heavy machine gun not quite positioned the right way. Grenade from over the house there, almost connecting with the Grenadiers. Sniper getting more kills. Heavy machine gun's got to go, though. Gonna go down to those Stoss trooping. No big deal. U.S. player can just remount it. And wow, these snipers have been 7 kills, 5 kills. Really starting to add up in terms of attrition. German player currently controlling all 3 victory points, but the U.S. player putting a quick stop to that. And very cool build here. Very cool. More flares going out. I think those are... yeah, that's from this scout package here, revealing those snipers, but getting picked away at there. Going to be able to secure the point, but not going to be able to hold it. Sniper hunting the German snipers. Scout car, though, getting aggressive, is going to lose his scouts on the retreat there. Munition supply. Where's that being built? It's not going to show me. Where is that being built? I don't know. Oh, it's munition surplus. I am so... I was thinking it was the... from the battle group here, but of course he can't do that because he has artillery observers, so please forgive me there. Picking up munition surplus, getting a discount on all future munitions usage, and curious what he wants to use that for. Sniper getting a shot on those Jaegers there. Oh, and a German sniper did go down. I can't believe I missed that. So nice pickup for our U.S. player. Going to keep him in this game. Another artillery radio beacon. Now I really like the placement of this radio beacon here. And I think he does need to sit on this and defend it as best he can. So the range goes all the way out to out here, which is enough to defend this whole town. Heavy machine gun is going to have to help out, though. And we're already seeing it. Yeah, and it can even hit all the way over here. So German player has to stay on the move if he's in this area. Heavy machine gun, again, out of position, unfortunately for him. Sniper also getting flanked. 75mm in trouble as well. There is a mine protecting the flank here, but US player is going to have to give up this position as the German comes in from all sides there. And 75mm eating a Panzerfaust. Not sure what the question marks are. And upgraded 221 with the anti-tank gun. Going to lose his unit there. So, wow. What a silly little build from both our players. Look at that damage disparity, though. That's huge. You know, and I think that part of that is the scouts, right? I mean, they're just not super combat effective. They're great for capturing, but you know, they lose fights, right? And we saw our German add on those snipers, get tons of units for free. That was such a beautiful finishing play there surrounding those units. So, different build, different game for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.